Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So if you're new around here, my name is Valerie. I'm a mom of 3 and I make lots of different types of videos about motherhood, motivation. I do some hauls, a little bit of hacks here and there, just a variety of different things. And so if you do like that type of thing, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button because it's free. So at the start of this year, guys, I decided to, write down my goals as I normally do. I am not into like New Year resolutions or anything like that, but I like to write down, some goals that I would like to achieve throughout the year, as we all do. Right, and so one of my goals was to read a book a month. So read 1 book per month. And so I'll tell you a little bit about the reason why I decided to do that. And I'll tell you how I plan to go on about doing that. So growing up with a father who was a journalist, as you can imagine, he loved languages and he was basically like a wordsmith. Honestly, my dad knew words that I'd never even knew had existed. He was so eloquent in his speech, and he would forever correct us when we were younger on like grammar, our spellings and stuff like that. So as a child, reading was basically fundamental. We used to have to read every day for an hour, and I remember my siblings used to hate reading, and when it was time to read, they would just be grumpy, but I used to just enjoy it because I felt it just gave me that freedom, that escapism, because when I would read those stories, I could just kind of like, my imagination just basically run wild. I would just imagine myself in different places, different times and all that kind of stuff. So I really enjoyed reading. And yeah, so I'll say thanks to my dad, that really helped me in school, because you guys may not know this, but English is actually my second language. So I came to this country when I was 11, so I had to learn English. And so thanks to my dad and his love of reading and languages, that actually helped me. And so basically in my GCSEs, not that I'm bragging, but I got A stars in English language and English literature. So it just goes to show that, reading is really important for spellings and all that kind of stuff. So over the years, I felt like I've dipped in and out of reading like consistently. And having children, naturally our focus is more on our kids, making sure that they're we educate them and we kind of instill lots of knowledge and build them up and so on and so forth. So I felt like I've kind of neglected myself in that respect. And so I decided, at the beginning of this year, I am going to start taking care of myself and my needs. And taking care of myself does not take away from my children. I had to kind of drum that in my head. So yes, I decided to rekindle my love and passion for reading back this year. And I'm also passionate about self-development, both professionally and personally. So yes, I decided to, set myself a goal of reading 1 book per month. Now, in setting that goal, obviously it's flexible. So even if I don't manage to finish reading the book within that particular month, it's fine. But just to have that context will help me. Yeah, so I thought I'll come on here and share with you guys. If I would love for you guys to join me. I think it's a great thing to do, because I feel like in the age that we're in right now, we are just including myself, we're always on social media. We are taking in information in a different format these days, and reading seems to be kind of has the traditional reading has kind of taken a backseat. And I know people are into like audio books and stuff like that, but for me, I personally, I'm old-fashioned. I just love a good book, physically holding the book, and also the smell of the book back. That's TMI, Valery. Anyways, yes, I'd like to share with you guys. So my plan is, as I said, to read 1 book per month. And once I'm done with the book, at the beginning of the following month, I will come on here and basically give you like a summary of what the book was about, almost like a little mini review of the book and how and how I found it, basically. If I so it's basically going to be a mini review, as I said. And yeah, and then I will then go on to introduce my next book. So guys, join the challenge. I would love for you guys to join me on this challenge, because can you imagine, we can actually end up reading 12 books. Now, I'm mindful that we are in February. I did shoot this video earlier this year, but unfortunately the footage was really bad and I was not happy with it, so that's why I'm doing it now. So we're still in February, so that's fine. I have read a book. Hey, I recently completed reading this book, which I'm sure you guys have heard of. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I feel like I'm the only person in the world who hasn't read this book. I've heard so much about this book and I'm so glad that I have finally read it. I cannot recommend this book enough. So this book, basically, it says here, it's the #1 personal finance book of all times, and it's written by Robert Kiyosaki. And basically, it just drums in the fact that we need to be financially literate, you know. And these are things that they don't teach in school, you know. So he shares his story about how he made it, you know, he made a success of himself. He retired at 47. And he basically talks about not putting all your eggs in one basket, having, you know, different businesses, different side hustles, not just relying on your 9 to 5. And it gives us, you know, it gives you tips on investments and stuff like that, stocks, shares, and these are the type of things that I, you know, don't know much about, and these are things that they don't teach you about. So I felt like I learned so much from this book, and I'll be sure to definitely pass it on to my daughters or to read. It's a really, really great book. Yeah, so check this book out if you haven't read it, but I'm sure a lot of you people have read it already. So I'm gonna move on to the next book that I will be reading. Is Michelle Obama's Becoming. Doesn't she look stunning in this cover? Beautiful, beautiful lady. So I'm so excited and looking forward to reading this book. And yeah, I'll be back to share, you know, my thoughts on this book. So I feel like coming on camera makes it official, do you know what I'm saying? So that you guys are going to be like my accountability partners. So that anytime I feel a little bit lazy or make excuses, I can think of you guys and think, okay, you know what, I need to come back in a month's time to review and tell you guys, you know, about what book I read. So I think that will give me that motivation, because sometimes we need that motivation, guys, don't we? So you guys are going to be my accountability partners, and I would love to be your accountability partner as well. So please do comment below if you will be joining me on my reading challenge. Share with me what books you are currently reading or the books that you are planning to read. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.